Ōlelo Kahua na haumana e leu. Welcome to our sixth papa. In Unit 5, we learned about Hawaiian names and naming practices, inoa, which I hope resonated with all of you. Today I'm so excited that we'll be covering Mele Hawaii, Hawaiian songs. In this unit, we'll continue to work on our ho'olauna by introducing ourselves and others. We'll learn about the different types of Mele Hawaii. We'll memorize the unit Hua Ōlelo. And we'll also learn about he equational sentences. Kamehameha actually has an interesting history with Mele and Ōlelo Hawaii. Manu will share some of this information in this next video clip.
We talk about today, what is the big mana'o nui about Mele Hawaii as our theme for today. We want to point out that Mele Hawaii, Hawaiian songs and chants are honored at Kamehameha schools in a big way and really have been for a long time. We think back to the years after the founding of Kamehameha schools, 1887, the founding of the Kamehameha School for Boys, 1894, Kamehameha School for Girls. There was no, as we remember from Unit 2, there was no Hawaiian language allowed at Kamehameha at all. In fact, you were punished if you spoke Hawaiian and did not receive some of the privileges that other non-Hawaiian speaking students are adhering to that policy. But it was in the early 1900s when I think the music teachers at Kamehameha really noticed or knew that Hawaiians have such beautiful voices and that Hawaiian songs were so beautiful as well. One of the graduates of the first class, graduating class for boys was Charles E. King, and he was writing music and publishing music or beginning to get into that field of his life's work. And so they would do arrangements, or he would do arrangements of songs, and they would be sung by the students. And that was the only opportunity our grandparents and great-grandparents at Kamehameha at that time was to do anything Hawaiian at all. So the song contest was something that was begun in the early 1900s as a competitive forum, but also one that was the only forum where anything Hawaiian really was done. So music then became really kind of a beacon of pride and identity in a subtle way for our haumana. Hawaiian songs and chants also tell stories and express worldview. I think we've talked a lot about worldview in the class so far, especially in the Ōlelo no Eau and in those kinds of sayings where our kupuna kind of had a very interesting way of thinking, lots of metaphor. Even in common speech, metaphor was heard or offered as a way to kind of give poetic imagery. We look at one of the words over here on our board here for vocabulary, the word kauna. Let's say kauna. And in this case, in this sense over here, kauna is a double meaning, a hidden meaning, veiled imagery or metaphor. Also looking at the first word here on our list, himeni. Let's say himeni. Himeni is another word to say mele haipule that we said earlier, that we talked about earlier, the songs of worship. So himeni comes from the English word hymn and is one of our words for today. So here, expressing worldview, this is something that Mele Hawaii do. Mele Hawaii promote identity and solidify relationships. When we talk about identity, we talk about sort of that pride that the early students at Kamehameha felt when they were able to sing Hawaiian while not speaking Hawaiian. That gave them a sense of cultural identity. And the relationships we talk about, maybe when we talk about in a setting where you're singing together and sharing song as one, that kind of creates a sort of a connection or solidifies the relationships among those of us who are singing the mele. But also for mele that are written about any number of subjects in the world of Mele Hawaii, you begin to create relationships between yourself and the places and the people that you're singing about. If we're going to sing a song, for instance, about Kauai, and you may never have even been there before, but what mountain might we be talking about in a song for the island of Kauai? Waialeale, that's right. And maybe what about a lei that is mentioned or described in a Kauai song? What might that? There's several lei that might be. What are some of the lei of Kauai? Mokihana, which is the most prevalent. Yeah, it's floral symbol. Maile. Also hala. Hala is associated with Kauai as well. So when you sing Hawaiian songs, you begin to, and you create this kind of imagery, it begins to build relationships with places you may never even have been, but you begin to know them because you understand the words as you go. We look at Hawaiian songs as an audio-visual experience. Like an English song, if you're listening to any number of, any genre of music where the words are in English, we all listen to them, we're all speakers of English, you have a sense of what that song is about all the way through, and you know what the emotions are, you can tell just by the lyrics of the song. In Hawaiian, sometimes because we're not as ma'a to the Ōlelo Hawaii, we're missing the whole visual part of the mele. So this lesson today kind of hopes to build a little bit of that. And lastly, mele Hawaii are a great way to learn Hawaiian language. If you are new to Hawaii or new to the language or new to any language anywhere, listening to the music of that culture is a good way to get that language in your pepe'au, in your ear.
Our Ōlelo No'eau today might sound familiar if you've ever heard Hawaiian music. It is Ha'ina ia mai ana kapuana, which is a familiar and popular refrain in music that means, let the story be told. Manu will tell us more.
Ōlelo No'eau, we all know that this means wise saying, because we've had Ōlelo No'eau in every lesson so far. But remember, going back to that term we say worldview, this really is the older way of looking at things, kind of going back to our kupuna. Before we get into our actual Ōlelo No'eau today, I want to introduce the image here. Anybody recognize who this beautiful wahine is? This is Edith Kanakaʻole. So Auntie Edith Kanakaʻole, and here she's in the Aina Veuveu, or the grasslands of the uplands of Puna and Ka'u. She's wearing a traditional kihei, so you can probably tell that she's doing something traditional. You think she's doing a himeni, or is she doing an oli? What do you think? Probably oli, because you can tell by the image over there. Her daughters, two of her daughters, of her several children, Pua Kanahele and Edith and Nalani Kanakaʻole, really carry on her work in Hawaiian chant, Hawaiian hula, dance, as well as mele Hawaii in general. Our Ōlelo No'eau today is Ha'ina ia mai ana kapuana. Let's say that together. Ha'ina ia mai ana kapuana. Hanoho, this is a long one. Let's say it again. Ha'ina ia mai ana kapuana. So we have ha'ina from our list of vocabulary words, coming from the word ha'i, which is to tell. And the last word in this long phrase, puana, we use it in our Ōlelo classes normally to talk about pronunciation. But here, it's not about pronunciation so much, it's about a summary. Okay, so I'll give you an example of a song that takes us to what's that well-known valley on the island of Hawaii, and there's the twin waterfalls. What's the valley called? Waipi'o, that's right. So there's a song there about the waterfall Hi'ilave, and the song begins with Kumaka ka'ikena ya Hi'ilave. That means all eyes are on Hi'ilave waterfall. Kapapalohi maya o maukele. Then we go to the second verse, pakele, that same poetic use, a o maukele, pakele maya o ikanui manu, hauvala aune, and so on. All the way to the bottom. Verse. Then we get to this line over here, ha'ina ia maya na kapuana. The story is told, or let the summary be stated. And it goes, the last line of the mele goes all the way back to the top of the song. Kumaka ka'ikena ya hi'ilave. All eyes are on hi'ilave. So in certain types of songs, especially those that were popular in the late 19th century, mele hula ku'i, those songs would oftentimes have a ha'ina verse in them. Ha'ina ia mai ana kapuana, and then whatever line follows that either goes back to the beginning of the song or is the whole point of the mele. That is where you can tell what the mele is really all about. So one of our colleagues, Paul Maikai, decided to describe this in English as a ubiquitous song line in Hawaiian music. Another word we can add to our vocabulary list, can we all say ubiquitous? So in Hawaiian, we call that pine pine. It's something that's seen or heard often in Hawaiian songs. Thank you to Pomaikai Benavides for his word, ubiquitous. Okay? But ha'ina ia mai ana kapuana, the story is told, let the story be told, what our point over here too is a lot of us know that line, but we're not really sure what the story is. So we go a little bit deeper, and you will hear the story. When Judy, who's a beautiful hula dancer, is gonna gesture this. Oftentimes it's from the mouth going out. You'll see at the Merry Monarch Festival at the end of the month, dancers doing ha'ina at the end of their song, oftentimes gesturing their mouth and sharing the story or telling using that gesture. An interesting thing about that comment and about the story being told is that over time, with fewer and fewer people understanding Hawaiian language, including Hawaiians and including all visitors who are coming here, there was this kind of a notion that in hula, the hands tell the story. In hula, the hands don't tell the story. The story tells the story, but you have to understand what the story is saying. People didn't, and therefore hula becoming very graphic with that, yeah? So in Hawaiian chant, the drumming and the chanting, all of that, that is the story right there. And the movements in traditional hula can be very obscure, very simple and nondescript because the story is understood. So that also led to another genre of Hawaiian music known as hapa haole, where songs are sung in English, but the themes are island or Hawaii themes. So that's where we get that sense. So hula, the hands do accentuate the words in hula, but the words tell the story. So our goal now is to get some of that story back.
Because this unit is focusing on mele, let's sing the 3 mele we learned in Unit 3. Ho'onani ka makua mau, or the doxology, na kini puale mamo Hawaii, and Hawaii pono'i. I've learned. Okay, makaukou. And our blessing, ho'onani, means to give glory and praise. So it's a nice way for us to bring good positive energy into our space and our class today. Ho'onani ka makua mau, ke keiki me ka uhane no, ke akua mau ho'o mai ka ipu, ko ke iau, ko ke lau. Amen. Mahalo.
Nani.
Nani no. Beautiful praise and glory. Na kini puale mamo Hawaii means the descendants of Hawaii. This refers to all our beneficiaries, young learners, the children who we serve, and the mission and vision of Pauahi, our benefactors. And so this chant always reminds us of our mission and what our duty is as employees here. Puka mai kala pa. Puka mai kala I ka vena o ke ao, I ke ao kupuna malama o ka lamaku. O ka lamaku ke ali'i pauahi, puahi I poia, ka lani meha meha. He mea nui ke aloha. He mea nui ke aloha I na kini pualei mamo Hawaii. Vai vai ka leo. Vai vai ka leo kono a ka ho'oki pa I ke kipa ana ka waiaha o nei ma'ane I mau. Ma'ane I mau ke aloha ko I a koe no nā pualava ku'ulei. Ma'ane I mau. Ma'ane I mau ke aloha ko I a koe no nā pualava ku'ulei. E o e nā kini pualei mamo Hawaii. Mahalo, beautiful. And finally, Hawaii pono'i. We'll sing all 3 verses as we learned last year, composed by our king and sung and known by our students today. They sing all 3 verses as well. Bum, 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 my band. Hawaii pono'i nana I komo'i kalani ali'i ke ali'i Hawaii pono I nana I na li'i na pua muliko na poki'i makualani e kamehameha e na kaua e pale me kai he Hawaii pono I e kalahui e o kauhana nui e ui e makualani e kamehameha e na kaua e pale me kai he. Mahalo, maikai.